OSD, Obsessive Sneaker Disorder. It is real. My name is D. Wells, along with the Sole Doctors and Disorderlies. This is OSD episode 352. 352. Yes, thanks for tuning in as you do each and every Wednesday. It is OSD, Obsessive Sneaker Disorder, the talk show about sneakers, about kicks, about the culture, and then some. So, yes, we are getting prepared, going straight to Brooklyn very soon. Very soon. And I'm excited. Can you tell? Just a little bit. Can you tell? So we're going to get a great show on the road for you. We have lots of good stuff. Man, we've got to talk about the sneakers, the upcoming social studies class. You still have time. Don't be listen. If you drag your feet, you get left outside, and then you get the dun-dun-dun. You get left outside, and it's summer, so I can't say left outside in the cold. But nonetheless, let's get Dr. Paper Chase in the building. What's up?
What up, everyone? Welcome to OSD episode number 352. That's correct, 352.
Boom, boom, boom.
Since 2007. And as D. Wells has said, we do have indeed a full itinerary for the summer. Social studies is making a return. You have exactly 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Dos semanas. Is that what you say? Is that the proper way to say that? Dos semanas?
There you go.
Dos semanas to register by the deadline of July 7th, 2015. Make sure you see all the postings on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and get where you need to get the information. We got a lot of information out there about the program, the cost, a little bit inside the experience. As D. Well said, don't be left on that train platform where it's 102 degrees. You want to be on that air-conditioned train when it leaves that station. So, got any questions, hit us up. We're getting hit up with questions from people all around the world, which we really like, and we're really happy that everyone is pushing and promoting the program, and it's getting some far reaches. People in different countries around the world that we never really anticipated getting inquiries from, we're beginning to get inquiries from. So that's dope. But we're looking forward to anybody, anywhere, being able to register and take social studies. So don't be shy. We know it costs a little bit of cheddar, but we priced it so that it is equivalent to the cost of your retro, your LeBron, your foam, even a little less actually. When you talk about certain models of LeBrons and Jordans, we've actually priced our class for 8 weeks less than that. So come on in. Social Studies starts July 21st, 2015. Deadline for registration will be July 7th. Head on over to the osdlive.com website. You'll find it. The information's there. Tabs there. You go into the blog section. Info's there. It'll be right there front and center presented to you. Again, as D. Wells said, we have on July 10th, actually 3 days after our registration time ends for social studies, we have the opening at the Brooklyn Museum of the Rise of Sneaker Culture, which is something that folks like D. Wells have been working really hard on the curator side with the good folks at American Federation for the Arts and the Brooklyn Museum and BADA to make sure that the items on display are really top-notch in terms of historical value and educational value, and making people understand that this thing that people thought a long time ago was just a pair of shoes to kick around and get dirty and throw away now has changed to the fact that it has a higher level of cultural significance than it's ever had before. And D. Wells, great work. Can't wait to see the fruits of your labor on display. Shout out to Rick. Shout out to everyone over at BADA, American Federation for the Arts, the Brooklyn Museum. Um, just can't wait, man. Can't
I
wait.
know, absolutely.
Can't wait. Especially, I want to see that book. I want to walk around in there. I want to see the little sneaker stories on display. Like, there's a lot for people to experience. And, the exhibition's going back 100 years, a little longer than 100 years.
Yep.
So,
and like you said, there's so much to see, so much to experience. It's interactive, it's informative, it's for the sneakerhead, it's for the person that's not into sneakers, it's for grandparents, it's for the young kids. So
yeah.
we really are excited to see and hear people's reactions. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. So, there'll be a lot of events related to the tenure of the exhibition, which again, July 10th to October 4th. There'll be some events in July, there'll be some events in August, and there'll be some events in September. And everything to make sure that there's enough of an interest and attention paid to the exhibition during the time that it's there. So social studies in some way, shape, or form will be involved with the experience, but in no way, shape, or form is that comparable to what you get if you sign up by July 7th and experience the entire 8-week journey that D. Wells, myself, and the Sole Doctors put you on with a couple of guest teachers in tow. So make sure you head on over to osdlive.com, hit that blog tab on top. Info's there. Scroll down, the info's right there. So can't wait, kid.
Yep, man. Well, we got to talk a little bit about money. Speaking of money and registering for social studies and what the cost is and all that good stuff. We always tell people, listen, if you really want a particular pair of sneakers, be patient, because not only will the sneakers, for the most part, hit the sales rack, hit an off-price retailer, hit the coupon, you get a coupon that saves you 20 to 30% off or more. But more importantly, own a piece of the company. And you've been reporting OSD Invest for a long time.
4 years.
Numbers are moving. I see numbers in red. I see numbers, one number in the positive. But nonetheless, people are circling and people are realizing that brands, these sneaker companies, these footwear companies, it might make more sense to buy stock in them and not just buy their products.
Yep. So. A bloody day on the market today, though, D. Wells. Bloody market.
Pretty crazy? Okay. Why so rocky?
I don't know, man. I mean, it seems like a little bit of some issues with management in some places and other issues as far as outlook for some of the other companies. But it was a very bloody day today. So we'll have at it starting with, and I need people to really pay attention to when I read these. Pay attention to always stock number 1 and stock number 2. We're going to be telling you that for a while. Pay attention to stock number 1 and stock number 2. So Nike finished today at 106.24, down 96 cents on the day. All right, that's Nike. People, the swoosh, Air Jordan, tons of sneakers you've heard of before, tons of names, big names signed to this company. Trading at 106.24 per share, the end of today's trading today. Stock number 2, as our homie Ridiculous Creative joins us from the O&E. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Skechers finished today. Clutch your pearls, grab your popcorn, guard your grill. Skechers finished today at $111.60 per share, people. $111.60. They're trading an entire $5 higher per share than Nike.
Wow.
And they were down today, $151.
They were down trading that high.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
And they were down $1.50 per share. let's lament in that for a minute, shall we? Lament in that.
Wow.
Nike 106.24. Skechers 111.60. All right.
Wow.
Now I'm going to proceed through the rest of the bloodbath. VF Corporation, Vanity Fair Corporation, parent company for Vans, North Face, Timberland, a few other brands under that umbrella, quite a few others. But those are the ones people are most familiar with. Finished today at $70.26 per share, down $1.01 per. Under Armour, another strong buy, $84.38 per share. Finished today down $101 per share. Deckers Outdoor Corporation, parent company for Uggs, Teva, a couple of other brands underneath the Deckers Outdoor Corporation umbrella. They finished at $74.58 per share, down 98 cents per. Foot Locker, we all know them, finished at $65.55, down 30 cents per share. Adidas AG, company getting a lot of attention these days. Yeezy's coming, all kind of stuff. Ridiculous knows this is track and field season, so they have a role in that.
No doubt.
Adidas AG finished on the OTC market at $36.90 per share, down 17 cents per. Puma AG on the ETR market finished at 143.65 in euros. Change was not noted, but that's the second week in a row we have that issue with change not being noted, so we need to figure out what's happening there. We'll work that out behind the scenes and get everybody updated by the next show on that.
Okay, one thing I did notice, and this only highlighted in my brain as I'm getting ready to travel, and I had to change over euros to dollars to euros.
Mm-hmm.
That's changing, or that's being traded in euros, which I'm trading at $1 or 1.2, so right around $1.20 higher exchange rate for U.S. dollars. So in U.S. dollars, that would be trading probably closer to 175, 180.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So to round out two on the NASDAQ, eBay Incorporated finished at $61.61 per share, ridiculous creative, down 32 cents per. And the only sneaker lover stock that was up today, which I'm dying to find out why, was Finish Line Incorporated, finished at $27.05 per share, up 22 cents per share. So a bloody day for sneaker stocks. And even with that, again, I guess we need to state again, Skechers finished at $111.60 per share.
Well, and if we look at also the dollar amounts, I'd be interested to see this time, maybe 8 months ago, 6 months ago, when we're in the dead of winter, they may be down right now week per week, but their dollar amount, their valuation price is actually up a few percentage points.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you. I would bet you're right. I would bet you're right.
Because I remember seeing a lot more 30s and 40s and 50s during the wintertime.
Right.
Crazy.
But I heard this rumor, and I don't know how true this is, but Wall Street is talking so much about Skechers performing so good that why wouldn't a company like Nike look at them for a merger and acquisition? And I was like, really? Okay. This is what I mean. They're performing and doing so good that now people are saying Nike's got some cash. Why not potentially buy the Skechers? And I was like, wow, if that happens, that's a monopoly.
It really will be close to that.
I mean, again, this is just all rumor. This is just but that was one of the articles I read about 2 hours ago, and I was like, wow, okay.
I also want to see, when we see down days in this particular realm of sneakers, a little bit of sneaker retail, I'd like to see what other futures are doing. You know, cattle, your corn, your fuel. Kind of seeing what it's almost like having that litmus test, that balance against the specific, to see if those things are up, if people are turning their focus away from these very specific things,
Right.
fashion, sneakers, footwear, that industry, and seeing if the other stocks, your fuel futures, cattle futures, those kind of things are actually up.
Right. Gross domestic product.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be an interesting juxtaposition to kind of see what happens, and then in about a month and a half, 2 months, examine if it flips when back to school retail and fall hit big and become very important.
I'm very excited about looking at what back to school this year does, considering who the people are that are jockeying for, or excuse me, have taken new positions in the market.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in seeing what back to school looks like, because even summer now, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what gets reflected on the track and field, on the blacktop and the hardwood for basketball season.
Yep. Yep.
Because Under Armour has snatched up whatever little bit of presence Adidas had
Yeah.
on a basketball court.
And Under Armour has yet to truly reveal what they are working on sponsorship-wise. Track and field is going to do well for them this summer. Going over to China, big market. That's where the World Championships are in Beijing. And then the Olympics of next year. And that's when we all know every 4 years track and field becomes a major sport and it's going to get some attention.
Yep.
And they've got that little engine that could mentality now, knowing that it worked with Steph Curry. They've got some Curry-esque athletes on the track and field front that can make some noise for him in an Olympic year.
Yep. It's going to be really interesting to see how people's hearts affect their pockets later in this summer.
Well, I got to get Ghost, everybody. Just wanted to drop in, say hello. Most of the topics that'll be posted on the Instagram and Twitter accounts and Facebook, I'll be chiming in. Y'all have a good show.
I need my Tacton gear, goddammit.
Peace, yeah. Dr. Jesse, what's up, sir?
He's in the house.
Woo! I've been burning them candles, y'all.
Okay.
To make sure I get that workout in. I've been running at work and I haven't really blessed my body and my mind, so I just had to get in a quick 20 minutes before I got on the show. So excuse my absence and lateness.
All good.
Hope everyone's doing very well.
It's all good. It's time to party.
Excited to be here, as usual.
Yep. 31 days, paper.
31 days until the H-Town Sneaker Summit, Houston, Texas, Sunday, July 26th.
Just read it. Peep Dr. D. Wells, just read it.
NRG Center. You want to head over to sneakersummit.com so that you can make sure you have all the necessary details on when you take that trip to the H-Town Sneaker Summit for the 12th annual for the summer. So there's nothing else that really needs to be said. I mean, we've already done it, whatever, lip service and personal testimony that we could. Kadoma will probably be back next week with some updates as far as surprises, company involvement, etc. And I'm pretty sure that will get you further excited about the pilgrimage that you should make in 31 days down for the H-Town Sneaker Summit. So shout out to Kadoma and everybody who works on the Sneaker Summit staff and all the good people of Houston who, when we go down there, they show us a lot of love. DJ Oak Cliff, Bun B, Jay Nature, Ralph G, who else? Tito. It's so many people, but just to shout out a few. We'll see you soon, man. I mean, It's gonna be a busy summer, D. It's gonna be
You guys heading down there?
summer. What's that, Jess?
You guys heading down there?
We have to see. Our itineraries are crazy right now.
Crazy right now, exactly.
The itineraries
Books,
have turned
classes,
into stuff.
museum openings. Busy people over here at OST.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, but we're gonna do our damnedest to get there. But don't let that sway you one way or the other, sneaker lovers. You need to get down there and experience it for yourself, regardless. Sneakersummit.com once again for all those details, and they'll be sure to get back to you with any questions or concerns you have over there at sneakersummit.com. And when you go over there, you'll see off to the top right, Sneaker Summit is hiring writers, designers, models, street team photographers, and more. So make sure you head on over there if you're looking for a jobby job. All right.
J-O-B.
Word. So, what are we leaving out, D. Wells?
We're going to talk about the next upcoming season for the NBA.
Yeah.
You know, as we were talking kind of off air, behind the scenes.
Yes.
There may be some movement taking place with players leaving brands and jumping ship, and particularly what kind of set it off. The one that I'm particularly paying attention to or looking at is this big one that Adidas again may be catching another L with
losing Dwight Howard.
Losing Dwight Howard for Peak. I mean, it's been this has been circulating for a while. This particular article is courtesy of Fox Sports, and they're saying that he's been traveling. He was he was at Peak's Chinese headquarters just last week. He had a long-term, a deal with Adidas, which expired at the end of the 2014-15 season, which we know. So, shout-outs once again to the Golden State Warriors and winning. And basically, could this mean? Can it look like Peak is going to get Dwight Howard, and then is this going to then set off another kind of domino effect? Could it very well?
Well, for Dwight Howard, I don't think it will. Only in Peak has Tony Parker, and he's up to the TP5 now, so he's been there for a while and playing on a high level. I guess to the level where they've won one chip in that 5 years, correct? San Antonio, they won one chip
since he's
been 5 years.
In 5 years.
I believe so. Taking home one.
Yes.
So Tony Parker's up to the TP5, I believe, coming soon. TP5, TP4, one of the two. But he's been on Peak for a while now. And he's one of those guards who is an elite guard, has brought home and hoisted the trophy, at least once in recent memory. Dwight Howard is still quote-unquote young, even though he's been in the league 10 years. He has the personality, as you've stated, that I think he'll be embraced by the Chinese people pretty well as a good basketball ambassador. Houston, which a lot of people don't know, has a very rich and thorough Asian population. And this was put on radar when Yao Ming came and played for the Rockets.
Yep.
So since then, Houston has always been one of the teams to watch for the Chinese people when it comes to basketball. So Dwight Howard, and the other thing is China loves big men. So Dwight Howard seems to fit the criteria for someone that the Asian community and that consumer that Pete caters to will embrace. It makes a lot of sense in that perspective. You have to flip it and not realize that everyone who signs to a brand, it isn't about serving the American consumer all the time. We really have seen, and we've covered this through, posts and topics that we've posted on the OSD Live website, as well as discussions here, this is not the kind of signing where the guy wearing the shoes is talking to you, Americans. He's not.
True.
He's very simply not talking to you. You know, Dwayne Wade is having a lot of success on these teams, and his shoes are barely available here in the U.S.
I think this is a very good time. Excuse me, everybody. This is a very good time to, you know, this is kind of where OSD is different than everybody else, and this is where the business piece comes in. This is a global move. We're in a global world now, and you know, there's a market in China that likes Dwight Howard, that likes basketball, that's excited about basketball, and this is an opportunity for him to maybe even start to reinvent himself a little bit with a culture that appreciates what he's doing as a basketball player, because here in the U.S. we clearly have not. So, you know, this is a good move by him. I don't know if any of you saw some of the announcements about the alignment that Adidas has announced and where their focus is going to be between 2015 and 2020, and basketball is not one of them. So this aligns Adidas with their strategic goals. Sometimes you got to trim up to really move and do what you want to do and get your company right. So there's a lot of different things going on here with this move.
Yeah. I mean, Adidas has conceded in some ways basketball. I mean,
yeah,
Derrick Rose and Damian Lillard and, you know, a couple other folks are still holding the torch for Adidas as far as basketball goes. But again, this isn't
John
the
Wall.
kind of, what is it?
John Wall.
Yeah, John Wall. So again, this isn't the kind of move with Dwight Howard going to peak where he knew he wasn't getting much traction on Adidas. He knew that there was no, you know, desire, for lack of a better word, to wear Dwight Howard's Adidas shoes. But if he's on peak, there is a desire.
It changes the game. It does.
Over there for people who, you know, two of the countries that are emerging markets for basketball are China and India. He can be that guy who makes people pay attention over there and buy his peak shoes. I mean, and the other thing is peak, as opposed to Li Ning, is more easily available here in the States because they have a store in LA, and it's been there for 3 years.
Yes. A lot of strategic, calculated moves going on with this one.
So, granted, you would have to call LA if you don't live in LA and get the shoes. But you can still, if you wanted his shoes as a fan of Dwight Howard, you know, for whatever reason, you can call the Peak store in LA and they'll ship you the shoes.
Right.
Not a problem.
Well, how's this for a kicker? So we're going to throw another player in the mix now, and that would be Kevin Love, because he exercises free agency, and you know we know Kevin Love is with 360.
Yep.
Right, 361 Degrees is his company, footwear that he represents.
Yeah.
There's talk right now of particularly the Celtics going after him, but then also trying to possibly bring Paul Pierce back home, and possibly
Rondo.
Brook Lopez.
Lopez?
Yep.
Wow.
To create a new big three in Boston.
Wow.
So just think of the footwear there too. Brook Lopez has been known to bounce around. I can't even remember. And help me out, Jesse, because he was playing in good old Portland last, in this past season.
Robin Lopez.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Jeez, get my people confused. Yes.
You're twins. It's
Robin.
okay.
Yes, I know. You know what? Those dudes always do mess me up. So.
You guys gotta think
Robin,
of
what sneakers was Robin wearing? I want to say it was Nike, but he's been
Robin Lopez. Robin Lopez had a good following here in Portland for his crazy hair. They had T-shirts around him. A lot of people really liked him. He really liked Portland. He was getting inline shoes from Adidas, and he actually took a pair of shoes every game and hand drew on the shoes. So he would wear shoes that he hand drew on, showing an artistic side, and people had shoes around them. So once again, Adidas did not capitalize on the fact that they have an opportunity with a personality to tell a story around their shoes.
Wow.
But that's what he was doing with shoes that he got from the trainer from Adidas.
Okay.
So if you go back and, you know, not plug in any other people, but if there are videos out there of tours of the Trailblazers training facility with their trainer, he talks about the shoes, he talks about what Brook Lopez wears, and you can see it on court. So he was not a signed athlete, he was just getting the inline Adidas shoes due to the fact that Adidas was the sponsor.
So Robin was artistic and then rocking Adidas. You know, then you have someone like Kevin Love, and then you have Paul Pierce. So I mean, we've seen it already before in the past with someone like Kevin Garnett leaving Adidas to go with Anta. We've certainly saw it with Rondo, but are there other players from this past season, the 14-15 NBA season, that could be jumping ship besides like a Dwight Howard? I mean, are we going to see someone like let's think about it. We know Steph is not going anywhere. He's locked up for a while. LeBron James, the only person we've been talking about, and we saw him make the move, was Dwayne Wade. He may be switching teams, but I don't think he'll be switching footwear companies anytime soon.
No, he's doing really well with Li Ning.
We know the NBA, this incoming rookie class is going to be really interesting to see. I mean, right now I think Nike and Adidas and even Under Armour are licking their chops, to see who's going to go number 1, 2, and 3 respectively.
Yeah.
But what current player who's played this off season? I mean, are we looking like a JR? Is he going to hop, skip, and jump over to a brand?
J.R. Smith?
J.R.
He's
Smith?
not that good. He could be a team player on a team for a brand, but he's not a signature. He's not.
No, not signature, but just moving companies.
I think this finals actually hurt him.
Right. Right.
Okay.
I agree. That's why I said that too.
The finals actually hurt him.
But the playoffs he actually played good, but the finals definitely he went into hiding.
Yeah.
This finals actually hurt him. It showed a few things that, as Jesse said, even though that might not be the deal, showed a few things that put in perspective that he's not a signature athlete and he won't be for a while. You
got to be careful if you even think about putting him in ads or even trying to feature him because he's just a wild card. And the climate of things right now, people are scared to do that. You won't get that brief pass of creative.
What about Jimmy Butler? We know he basically passed up some serious money.
Well, he passed up a lot of money. Yeah, to stay with Jordan Brand. So that already shows me that he already has his emotions tied to his footwear as opposed to his business sense. Because he's one of those guys that when I was young, I wore Jordans. I always liked Jordans. Yeah. I'm wearing Jordans.
But if the Bulls draft, a top-notch player, he's on the trading block.
Yeah. Well, one person I'd like to see where he ends up as far as the footwear endorsement and sponsorship goes, as well as his team, because that could be up in the air too, is DeAndre Jordan from the LA Clippers. Because I've heard rumblings that when he did that spectacular dunk on Brandon Knight when he was with Under Armour, the next year he ended up going back to Nike. And I've heard that Under Armour wants him back in a bad way.
Yeah, we definitely talked about how they Under Armour missed out in capitalizing on that dunk, the notoriety, all the fame, and just...
Yeah, they totally blew that. They put out a T-shirt.
Under Armour has made a breakthrough with Stephon. They made a breakthrough with Stephon and made a breakthrough with this charged cushioning system they're putting in their shoes. So they've got a roster right now across a couple different brands, like we've said, with Andy Murray, with Steph Curry. You throw a DeAndre Jordan in there where you can put the shoe on him and let his athleticism speak, and he's wearing a UA label on his feet. That's a good look for the momentum-wise. You know what I mean? And let's not forget our homeboy that's down in Carolina, who's a nasty guard who's coming off some injuries, who I think could make some noise for the brand. The UA squad could be nice with Kemba Walker, yes. So that whole squad as a basketball unit has a lot of momentum now that they're really getting their footwear in place.
Well, here's the issue with Kemba. he's never really been that personality that people want to go and check for. Like, if you happen to come across him while he's playing, you're fine. All right. Oh, that kid Kemba Walker, he's nice. He can play. He's not somebody you really crave seeing right now. The only person in the league who I think embodies the skill and the desire, who he's already being marketed, and he was marketed the entire playoffs, and we kind of didn't really pay attention, was Anthony Davis.
Right.
Anthony Davis is one of those rising stars that I would love to see signed to a brand like Under Armour. And the way he plays, he could really get people talking. Now, the only issue is...
Nike's not going to let him go.
Yeah, Nike's not letting him go.
Nike's not letting him go because they got to find a replacement for Kobe.
Not without a fight, right. They do need the replacement for Kobe. Not without a fight, they're not letting him go. But then you're back to... And the reason why Under Armour is a good fit is because they make basketball shoes for all 5 positions for most of their models. Nike doesn't. In the case with Anthony Davis, if he signs to Under Armour, you can put him in a shoe that isn't, quote-unquote, a big man shoe like the Dwight Howard shoe was, and people will actually buy it.
Well, I mean, we talked about it last show. We know that, as much as we may not want to see it happening, we know that UA is headed to a lifestyle look off court. You know what I'm saying? We know that there's going to be some hype or some love around the shoe that Steph Curry wore. There's going to be a low version put out. So they're about to move into that next phase of having footwear where they might start getting some popularity, and the consumer will start to change the vision on their own of how you can wear their shoes. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be opportunity there for them to be like, well, we're getting a little cred right now.
Yeah, and
the consumer is going to want it.
It doesn't hurt that Jordan Spieth is winning as well.
Killing it.
So
Jordan Spieth is silencing both Tiger Woods, but Jordan Spieth is also silencing Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
That is the exciting thing with golf. You don't hear nothing about Rory, right? Rory's supposed to come in and take care of Tiger. Spieth is hurting them both.
He's silencing $600 million worth of golf players.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, damn.
That's what's crazy. $600 million worth of golf player are not even close to standing on the podium with him.
Crazy.
It was interesting that our boy Matt Powell was like, is this really a bump with Spieth? And I'm like, man, you keep downplaying these people all you want. I was like, I didn't even read it yet, but I was like, oh, it ain't a bump, dude. They got something with Spieth.
I can't continue to, really give credence to the viewpoint that isn't taking into consideration, the mom and pop stores and the dynamics of, influence.
Right. Right. No, I hear you on that.
And that's what I think comes out a lot from that particular, information when it comes out, is the lack of attention to the mom and pops across the country, and a lack of attention and value that goes on, the urban and rural influence.
I feel it's becoming a bit one-sided, like you said, and not really in tune with the business goals of these brands. Like, he puts an opinion out, but it's just not, I don't know. I don't think it's very relevant. But hey, you got the eye of the people, you got the eye, I guess. But
yeah. So, news of this shoe broke early.
Did it break the internet?
People wanted to break their internet.
Oh, man.
So, let's talk about this here. We're talking, and this is officially...
Excuse me a second, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. We need to preface this. This is officially the WTF segment of the show. It's where we are. It's official.
Yep.
First look, which, of course, we're just going to take this with a grain of salt and take it literally for what they say it is. A first look at the Nike Air Cruise.
Man.
Okay.
Air Cruise.
So.
It's Kanye West inspired. No, I'm sorry. Jeez. Oh.
I see Trainer 1.
Yep. Trainer 1.
I see Safari with the Safari print.
Yep.
I see a little bit easy.
Yep.
And from the color scheme, obviously, we see Air Jordan 3.
Yep.
Now, the only thing that is mind-boggling me with this particular shoe, again, this is just my opinion of this, and anyone watching the show or going to catch it later is welcome to weigh in and hit us up. I can't fathom for the life of me what the purpose is of that strap around the back of the ankle.
Exactly.
And why the 4-foot strap on this cross-trainer shoe in the area where it is?
Yeah, it seems really high. It's a mashup. It's almost like there's so much going on. They just threw a bunch of shit together. And I mean, I understand. And Cruz is gonna have his, he has his sneakers that he likes and loves, and has grown up, wearing and being inspired by. But this is where lifestyle sneakers have gone to. And then just the descriptions, how people describe this sneaker, and saying, okay, they went straight to Kanye West and Yeezy. I'm like, do you not see the other cues first? And then, just like you just asked, Pate, what's the purpose of the heel? Velcro strap. What is it? Like,
that is the weirdest place I've ever seen a strap.
Locking your heel down? No, you don't have to worry about locking your heel down there.
So what did he go down with last year? What did he do? Did he break his leg or his ankle?
I can't remember what the injury was, but it just leads to the other part of what the problem is with this. You're coming off a down year where Odell Beckham took over, essentially, the attention as far as receivers go for the New York Giants. Odell Beckham owns that spot right now. People are checking for Odell Beckham and adjusting their defensive packages now for Odell Beckham coming up this year, not for Victor Cruz, because Victor Cruz didn't play. So what's our last memory of you that makes us want to be so excited about buying a shoe for any reason from you?
This is another really good play on the confusion internally with this particular brand we're talking about here, because you have an NFL player coming back off injury and you're creating a cross-trainer shoe, but you decide to try to take lifestyle cues from his relationships with some of his higher-profile friends like Ronnie Flag, or whether it be that he's a sneakerhead or his relationship with Foot Locker, and you put this out first. Instead of appealing to cross-training people, which is where the ethos of the shoe comes from. So what I'm talking about is that strap that's on that shoe is a strap that comes from Darrelle Revis's original cross-trainer. That strap at that height is actually pretty good. It's one of my favorite shoes. But, of course, it's leather, and you give it this look as opposed to the cross-training look. I don't think that's a good idea. Then you go on and you put a Jordan you put the Bo Jackson sole on there so you can see the through air, which is from the Bo Jackson. Mm-hmm. And then you take the outsole and you clear it out, or you gum sole it, or you translucent the sole to give it some street appeal, which is not, again, the back strap with the look-alike elephant print. I mean, you're doing so much here with the Jordan colors. I mean, it's like, how do you write off that? How do you see that up on the screen and be like, that's a winner? Because it's just not. There's no way.
Just I found out that Victor Cruz, he ended up tearing a tendon in his right knee.
Okay.
So that's the injury he went down with when when that big loss against the Eagles on the Sunday Night Football game. So I mean, he's making the comeback. I mean, we've actually seen. I actually saw a couple of videos here and there of him working out, but nonetheless, I don't get that strap.
That doesn't account for the heel strap. I mean, the heel strap is so old and it doesn't do anything.
So
you can't pull that.
It has to be fashion. It just has to be, the kind of. I mean, you look at it even down to the the diamond or studded, lateral side with the heel cup area too. That is taking off of what's the Italian designer who's been doing all those Air Force Ones?
Rigotti.
Roberto Ticci.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Kanye West actually did it on one of his. So again, it's lifestyle. This is what lifestyle has become. But I am surprised.
Are there other pictures on there, D? Like at other angles, or just
I haven't seen any other ones myself, but I'm surprised that Victor Cruz got a sneaker. I am very surprised by that. So
Super surprised.
Huh?
After they win the Super Bowl, okay, I get it. After a down year where you didn't play and then one of your teammates totally outshines you, I mean, people forgot Victor Cruz was on the team at one point the way Odell Beckham was doing one-hand grabs for touchdowns all year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. There's a 16 to 18, month product cycle and the whole 9 yards. I get all of that. We know all of that. But, like, if you're going to come back out with something, we need to come back out with something that says Victor Cruz is back. And
I mean, there's such an opportunity with the whole retro kind of styles, like everything that's old is new, and you can play off, I guess instead of being off the 80s, you can play off the early 90s now. I mean, you could have easily come on with a monochrome tone-on-tone or like two-tone colorway off the Giants and just blew this out of the water. You know what I mean? You would have been like, oh, word. I mean, you would have had the entire Giants organization excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have really hit that out of the park with just doing a better color up that had something to do with the Giants.
There's only one way to blow this out of the water, Jesse. And that's to literally blow this out the water.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's too much influence. This is total MSU. You know what I mean?
This is big MSU, man. Big MSU.
And not for nothing, I liked Jarrell Revis's shoe. I like that shoe, the Revis one.
It is dope.
I liked it, but it did horrible at retail.
Because they didn't know how to market it.
Well, they had it out after he had a great year. And then after that great year, for some reason, I don't know what the reason. Oh, the reason was his injury. Oh, his injury.
He got injured, yep.
The reason was his injury. The shoe lost all traction.
Let me tell you something. The shoe is dope.
That Reebok one had some great colorways, and it was the kind of shoe that I could see actually being used for the purpose it was made for, on top of having a little bit of street style.
On turf, like the artificial rug, the strap is finally the right thickness in the right place. You had the tongue to help you tie it. I mean, and I get to wear this one unlaced like this, and I can still get my train on. This is one of the better training shoes I've had in a long time besides the Bo Jackson shoe. They put out a lot of stuff. They put out the trainer one. They put out a couple things. This one fits right in all the right places. And again, it's not a low. It's kind of like that mid-cut of that original Jordan 4. It hit. And I wear this one casually now and continue to snap necks. Like, what is he wearing? You know? It works. It's a really, really good shoe. Really good shoe. Like, it did all of the correct things. And there's no lunar in it. There's no kind of crazy stuff. It's got a Zoom Air, a full-length Zoom Air pocket inside the sole. Yeah. So you don't see it, but you feel it when you're performing. You know what I mean? And it's like, look at Darrelle Revis now. He came back and he was the joint because he had the right shoe. You know?
He won a Super Bowl.
Had the right shoe.
Well, his deal with Nike's done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's a mistake to let that have passed Nike.
There's a lot of concern going on there because it's just, really getting a hold on training is a challenge.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a company doing well selling training shoes. We know that for a fact. But if this is what you're going to do with your trainers, even if you're trying to find a creative way to get people back into that training segment, this is not it.
No, it's not.
It's going to be tough. It definitely is going to be tough.
And the price point on this is going to be like $150.
Oh. Yeah. It's going to, yeah.
That's going to be pumped by his associates, not necessarily him either. I don't know if he's got that kind of cred in New York. I don't see how. I don't know. It's gonna be in Foot Locker. It might be a good Foot Locker deal because he does his little sneakerhead thing with Foot Locker, or supposedly influencer thing with Foot Locker, where he's, every week, what's Victor Cruz wearing kind of deal. But I don't know. Your momentum's down because you've been healing up.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, this is definitely a WTF. I mean, if you're going to sit me down and tell me I have the opportunity to design a shoe with you, Nike, and all I can come up with are pieces from 3 or 4 other shoes, which shout out to Travis. Trav Pete, what up? Because he also highlighted the fact that the tongue is similar to one of the LeBron models. I think he mentioned the 7.
Yep, the 7.
So, I mean, like, what you got going on here, Victor? Like, you had the chance to do it up. And this is what you did. You kind of shit the bed.
Well, you know it's bad when you have, your own newspaper in the city where you play that can't even get the proper spelling of your sneakers right.
They botched that badly, didn't they?
Yeah. So you know it's bad when the air curves.
Air curves.
The air curves.
Air curves.
So not the air cruise, the air curves. Curves, mofo.
Who was that? The Sun Times? Wow.
Yeah, that was the New York City Sun Times.
Wow. Air curves. Somebody took the day off and edited.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's not even a got 'em.
Yeah, that's not even a got him. That's a whoops. We lost them.
Whoops, there it is.
We lost them. That's what that is.
Yeah.
We lost them. So one of the
Victor
things.
Cruz is from Patterson, and I'm gonna get every pair. I hope there's an all red pair. Easy 3.
What you say, Ben?
Victor Cruz is from Patterson. I'm gonna get every pair. I hope there's an all red pair. I hope there's a tan and tan pair. I hope there's all the easy colors pair.
Do you actually like that shoe, Ben?
I do. I'm gonna wear it.
You talking about the Cruz right now, Ben?
I'm 100% talking about the Cruz. I'm gonna wear it.
Now, are you liking it because of Patterson Pride or because you like shoes that are MSU?
I'm gonna wear it because I like trainers. There's the last. I mean, if you think of it like this, the Revis was the last best trainer that I could think of. Next to that should have been. I wish that was the Victor Cruz sneaker. But
Yeah, well.
I just think I don't know. This hasn't even been confirmed yet, so who really even knows? This could be one of those things because Nike does have a division where they'll put out things just to people respond to it before they actually make things or put them into like super production. So this could be that. What do they call them? Feelers?
Yeah, well, if anybody from Nike's product development team watches this show, that shoe is officially canceled tomorrow when they go into campus. But you and I both know that's not going to happen.
I hope there's an all red pair.
I hope there's no pair. I hope there's an invisible pair. 1 billion invisible pairs.
I would do a see-through pair.
No, I mean really invisible where you can't find this shit. That's what I mean. So the quiet, which was really quiet, person for, as far as sneaker brands, D-Wells, going back to people on new brands this year. Because we know Klay Thompson signed to Anta earlier this year.
Right.
And there was no fanfare made whatsoever.
It was crickets, man.
None.
It was like
Shoes he wore.
I like the KT Fire.
Man.
There was.
Well,
yeah,
didn't Rondo go to Anta, and there's nothing about that either.
They tried to do a little bit, but it's definitely nowhere near what you would have thought Anta would have done. Especially seeing that, he was the last of the, Mohicans kind of holding on the fort with the Celtics before being traded. So I was surprised by that.
The rollout in China is supposed to be really good for the KT Fire. I mean, it has his name, it has his initials, KT.
It's interesting when you're looking at these shoes these days, and I don't know how much I don't know how much Steph Curry had with his design, but I'll tell you what, I know somebody, it seems like the Under Armour designers are really taking key to um, the science and movement and athleticism it takes to wear a shoe and what it does and how it helps their athletes. You know what I mean? With what they've been able to develop for Steph Curry. And so when you think about what these other brands are doing, you look at some of these guys coming out with shoes, and it's like, it seems like there's nobody sitting in the room with them that actually has any kind of athletic prowess that says, hey, these are attributes of building a shoe that will help you be a better basketball player. It's all about color ups, or what do you think is cool, or how do you like this, as opposed to a conversation on actual, movement in production and building. That's what's missing in these conversations. It's crazy. And it's coming across in the shoes, I think.
Yeah, well,
it's not needed to sell shoes anymore. You don't have to put thought into it. All you have to do is put a name and some colors.
Rondo shit the bed with his bad PR being in Dallas this year. So that's why Rondo's shoes didn't really matter past the initial fanfare they got when people found out he signed to Anta. But Clay, there was no fanfare whatsoever made this final season over what he wore. And as Ben said, he wore this shoe called the KT Fire, which I'm going to share my screen in a minute and pull up.
The crazy thing was, even in the playoffs, he didn't wear the KT Fire until the second round. He was wearing Nikes with white tape or yellow tape or black tape over the swoosh. The deal for Klay Thompson was done right before All-Star Weekend. So in the shooting contest, he wore the KT Fire. I actually met the Anta people when they were out here in New York. The deal was done, but he only wore them during the thing and right after the shooting contest, because it was him and Steph Curry at the end. But it was crazy because after that, throughout the season, he was just still wearing Nike.
Yeah, Anta didn't capitalize on that opportunity. A bad deal, or through people just simply not caring what Klay Thompson wore this finals. But on screen, that is the KT Fire. So you have to mute your mic, Ben. You sound like you're moving furniture over there.
I'm actually putting together furniture.
See, mute your mic, sucker. So Anta has Klay Thompson, Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett, Luis Scola. I'm missing a couple of people, but
you got them all except for what's his name on the Rockets. Come on, he looks like Ashton Kutcher. He's on the Rockets.
Oh, you mean on Dallas Mavericks? You mean Chandler Parsons?
Chandler Parsons, good call. He did go to the Mavericks.
Chandler Parsons. Yeah,
exactly. They call them Team Priceless. They're all gonna be on tour. I think starting next week in China.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Team Priceless.
Yeah. And Peak is also doing their Asian tour right now because Tony Parker and Carl Landry are currently over there. So yeah, they're on their tour doing their thing. I mean, this is the time of year where that tour of Asia happens. Pretty soon you'll see Kobe over there. You'll see LeBron. You'll see KD if he's willing. You might see Kyrie. This is where they try to go out at this point in this time of the year and win the hearts of the basketball fans in the Asian market. So it's crazy that I didn't see any fanfare, or I didn't get any fanfare at all for what Klay Thompson wore, the way you really just people paid attention to what Steph Curry wore, and his shoes were selling out actually online in minutes. Like Stephen Curry's Under Armour shoes sold the father to son shoe and the MVP shoe gone in minutes when they dropped that 10 a.m. that Saturday and that 10 a.m. that Thursday. Gone.
As far as like basketball companies though, Li-Ning killed it this year with the their team shoe, the 808 Wade.
Li-Ning killed it how?
Where can you buy Li-Ning shoes? And I actually go to like
high websites.
and see them?
On the web store. Leaning's web store every 2 weeks releases colors, but you don't know about them. They don't tell anybody.
And that leads to my question: how are they killing it and no one knows?
In China, that shoe sold really well. Even like on the websites that sell to the U.S., they're sold out. That
Well,
you know, wait, because it straps in really well. It's like a really unique strap in.
no, it's a good shoe. It's definitely a good shoe. I've heard good things about it, and from what I've seen, I like how it looks. But again, killing it in Asia is where they're supposed to be killing it, because
Very good point.
they're aiming at. You know what I mean?
That's a very good
If you
point.
can't kill it there, dead. You know. But when we're talking about doing nothing or not even a blip, we're making reference to the level of coverage that the shoes were even given over here, and Anta had a very poor showing this entire year, and then in the playoffs was worse.
Yep,
At that
they
point,
did.
you should blame your local sneaker writer. I'm sorry, D. What were you saying?
No. After you.
What'd you say, Ben?
No.
You should blame who?
Actually, you should blame your local sneaker writer. If there's not an all over, if there's not a seeded package you're not going to hear about it from 90% of the companies. That's just the way it is. If the presser doesn't go out, if they don't pre-write the thing for you, you're not going to hear about it, because that would require people to do work. You know, paraphrase, learn about something,
Right.
something that they don't know about.
That's it, and that's exactly the issue. Is do they seed pairs? Yeah, the Chinese brands do seed pairs, but I
have no idea.
I think it's a level of interest in the product. There needs to be a level of interest from these writers of said sites in the product to say, hey, representative of Peak, of Anta, of Li Ning, of 361, of whoever, we're looking to give you guys a little bit of press, but obviously we can't buy the shoes over here. How about you just send us a pair? No one cares that much.
Right.
You said it the perfect way. People don't care.
Which at the end of the day, they're still winning, because there are markets over there where the press is coming in a different language and it's selling in a different currency. So thus this summertime tour of Asia, which means so much, because now it's the off season, and now these new fans and future basketball fans get to see all of these guys and fall in love with them again, and then catch them when the season begins, where in some cases they won't even be wearing the shoes, but it won't matter.
True.
And that's the end of that story.
And so it is.
So, all right, so let's end the show off. We'll go around. What shoe, D. Wells, and the rest of the Sole Doctors on the panel, are you looking forward to seeing release for this summer 2015?
Ooh.
Yeah, I asked a tough one. Yes, I did.
Damn.
So,
yeah, clarify the question. I didn't understand.
Wasn't that hard, Ben? What shoe are you looking forward to?
there's mine.
Oh, wow. 4th of July shoe, huh?
The New Balance Concepts M80.
You too, Boston sucker.
Ooh.
But you know what? Hometown brand.
D, you already on the list for this, or what?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
You're already on the list for this?
On the list? No, I'm trying to get a pair. But I've been like lately, like for example, I wore a pair of 580s on Monday. I wore a pair of Air Jordan 13 lows yesterday. Today I wore boat shoes. I'm gonna tell you, like, wearing the Jordans hurt my feet. New Balance, no problem. So I saw these popped up. I saw these earlier today, and then I saw the cover of Sneaker Freaker, and I was like, yep, right in time. What I'm looking forward to. Other than some some Adidas ZX Flux Customs.
Mm.
That'll be the only other thing. So.
I know the shoe I want. I don't know how I'm gonna get it, but as I've seen it, I want it, and I'm working on it.
And what sneaker is that?
I'm working on it right now.
Oh, okay.
So
I just need.
While Jesse's digging, I'll say my pick that I'm looking for this year. I'm looking forward to the Tubular Runner Prime Knit.
Yep.
I'm totally looking forward to this shoe. I'm a little disappointed in the customizable options of it. I mean, granted, it's a knitted fabric with a very simple upper, but I'm very much looking forward to this shoe when it comes out very simply and plainly for retail. I'm already in possession of a pair of tubulars, and I'm pretty happy with what I've seen, but I feel like that loyalty can step up another level with this Prime Knit upper. I do technically like Prime Knit better than Fly Knit because of the, I guess, how do you say this? The better stability in the fabric. They're both done the same way, but in my experience with both, I feel like the Prime Knit has better stability over the long term, meaning it maintains its shape better than those Fly Knit shoes.
Fly Knit.
Was that Jess?
Fly Knit definitely probably isn't a fabric that, or isn't it isn't a fabric or material that I think they're putting together and trying to, or they've realized that it's not going to hold shape. They tried steaming them when they first came out, and there's a couple other things, which is why I think you're only seeing it in certain models and not models that need a lot of support, which is why they had to add flywire to it. It's not a shape forming kind of thing at all.
And Adidas's Prime Knit is a more stable fabric, you know, and I think they did that simply because they knew that if you were going to fall in love with the silhouette, then the shape of the silhouette had a lot to do with it, and they made that adjustment to the process in terms of the fabric. So I haven't seen any Prime Knit shoes, to Jesse's point, that require that much supplemental support, if you will, because of that. Adidas shoes, all the Prime Knit shoes are still very basic.
True.
So I'm looking forward to this shoe. I don't want a customized pair. I want a simple pair that hits the market and pull it off the wall, out the box, on my feet, and just go. And I want to enjoy it that way. I'm also looking forward to, even though they're out already, but I actually can't find a pair in black, D-Wells, you're going to laugh at that, is the ZX 8000 Boost.
8,000 Boost, right. Right.
The shoe that you have. The black one is gone everywhere.
Really?
It's gone, yeah. The other colors are sitting there. The black is gone. And that shoe showcases a lot of Adidas's present and future. That ZX 8000. So it's a great shoe. I hope you've been wearing the shit out of them.
Not yet.
See?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I've been like trying to get the right time, the moment, but real soon. Trust me, you'll see him.
Yeah,
I got something in the works.
That inner boost mechanism in that shoe is fucking nuts. It's totally nuts.
Good stuff. So Ben, what's your sneaker? All right, Jesse.
No, my mute was busted just now. I mean, can I go one for each brand?
One for each brand.
One for each brand. I like that. I like that. He keeps it.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to keep it Adidas. Like I heard him say those two. I really like the Crazy Light Boost 2015.
Okay.
That's a prime knit upper, and it's like double stacked Boost, and it's encapsulated in the toe too, which is cool.
Good shoe.
Word. Jordan, I really want those Aqua 8s because I really, really, really want them. Like really, really, really. Nike, I really want the KD 8 because it reminds me of the old like 97 up tempos. It's pretty much the same layout of the airbag, but Zoom Air instead of encapsulated like air.
Okay.
Reebok, I really like. There's gonna be a Kamikaze 5 that comes out, even though the Kamikaze 4 came out and didn't do great. But the Kamikaze 5 or slash the Blacktop 3 or the Blacktop 2 because the Blacktop 3 came out last year. The Blacktop 2 is coming out in July. I don't know. The new Wave Wade is not good. I haven't seen. Oh, I want to know more about the sneaker that Emmanuel Monday has been wearing in those Under Armour commercials.
Oh yeah, I saw those today.
Where that looks interesting to me. So I want to know more about those. I mean, that's pretty much it. Everything else is just. Isn't half the stuff coming out stuff that came out already anyway? Just in a different color. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
So
I want more James. Oh yeah, and New Balance is coming out with more James Worthies. I want some of those.
Yeah, they're all gonna go on sale. Give it time. The Hakeem Etonics are on sale for $40.
Do you see the people behind Etonic?
That's so
Give it
funny.
time.
Shout out Abu. I mean, you're my guy, but come on, man. There's no reason you should be doing this.
That was really funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Hakeem shoes are sitting in certain stores for $40. I'm not saying where because I'm trying to scoop them all.
Yeah, grab me a size 9 while you're out there.
That's so fantastic. That's so cool.
My man Brandon, Sneaker Shop Talk. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. How's everybody doing tonight?
We're good. We're good. How you, proud papa?
Sitting up here with young fella right now. So.
What's up, young fella? Tell your dad that the Nike Air Cruise is not the shoe to buy.
Wow.
Not the one. Not the one.
Not the shoe. What shoe are you looking forward to for your reviews on sneakershoptalk.com, bro?
Oh man. Probably let's see the KD8. Whenever, hold on, I got a finger in my mouth here.
Whoa, wait, pause.
Sorry. The Curry one. Those are the two right now. And I'm probably the most forward to actually getting a chance to play.
Well, do you currently have a pair of Curry ones already? Because anything in anybody's decent size for the Curry one is sold out.
I know. I was actually scouring eBay looking for some, and the prices were stupid.
Yeah, they are.
I'm like, $260? This is ridiculous.
I've seen the MVP Currys. The MVP Currys are going as high as in some places, unless they've been taken down and snatched up, $500.
Yeah, the highest that I saw was like $480.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Oh. So those are the two for me right now. I'm sure if you ask me in a week, there'll be some others that'll join that list.
I heard that. So we got the roundup from the gang on shoes that we're looking forward to for 2015 for the rest of the year.
I want this one. And
it would be nice if they put that out.
Till I get it. I probably won't be able to get it, but that's the one I want.
Yeah, that
I'm
one.
hoping there's a sample or something sitting on somebody's shelf somewhere, something. But that's
there's a sample sitting somewhere, but it's on someone's feet already at Under Armour.
Look at the back. The back is like Batman. The back is like carbon fiber.
Yep.
Embossed. That is a dope shoe right there.
Yep. He killed it with that shoe. But we'll probably get that when we least expect it. But the Curry one is definitely a high flyer this year as far as retail. And the price point was just too friendly. It was $120, man. Come on. What are you going to do? $120. So that's what we got for so far 2015 shoes we're looking forward to for summer into fall. Back to school is really going to be crazy, y'all. Can't wait to see what people decide to rock on their feet for going back to school. So D. Wells.
Yes, sir.
We have to remind the good people before we conclude episode number 352 that you have just 2 weeks left.
2 weeks.
2 weeks to register for OSD's Social Studies. Make sure you get over to our website, hit the blog section. Details for the class are right there. And the link to sign up immediately, right there. Shout out to everyone all over social media who has been posting to their followers, trying to get them to register for social studies. We appreciate every single one of you guys who have been doing that and those who are going to continue to do it in the future. It's been getting a lot of love. You know, that social studies logo is well traveled around the internets all over the world right now. So we're hoping that that leads to people, you know, I hate to say this, but I hope it leads to us having to turn people down and say, we'll be back next season with another class because we just simply don't have any more room. Shout out again to Dunk 360 for their contest where they gave away a seat to a female sneaker lover for social studies. Shout out to them. And again, to all our partners and sponsors who so many have signed on to help and support social studies. Those names will all be read and listed very soon, right around the launch of the class. We appreciate every single one of you guys who are believing in the program and spreading the word about the program and trying to convince people to sign up. So that's all we got from here. Hit the website up. We'll definitely make sure we get back to you as soon as possible if you hit us with emails, tweets, DMs on IG, etc., Facebook messages. So, D. Wells, we got to roll out, pimpin'.
We got to roll. We got to roll. It's been good. It's been fun. Episode 352. We talked a lot of good stuff. So make sure you come back, walk with us, talk with us next week for a brand new show.
Yep.
In the meantime, keep your laces tied tightly, your tongue loose, walk good, and always, 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 always let people know that we are live every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, osdlive.com. Until then, y'all be good. We're up. And what do we say? We are
good.
out of this. Peace.
Thank you,